Yeah. I ain't afraid to die. So buckle to my motherfucking torture chamber. Disrespect my crew. Bitch, you's in danger. See, murder here who I be. True is my clique. Right now, my mind is on the process of getting rich. Yeah, brother Dawood. You know I'm about to do this piece on see murder. You follow? Yeah, you know see murder was born March the 9th of 1971, I believe. You know, we all know that he's the brother of rap star Master P and Silk the Shocker. You know, a lot of these videos I'm doing, a lot of them gonna be interconnected because it's related. It's like interrelated. So you know, when I talk about like P, a lot of like the similar background, like it's gonna be like a similar background with like his brother because they come up from the same place, you know, in New Orleans, you know, 3rd Ward, Calliope Projects, back of town, on the old side, Mirror Courtway, on Errata Street. You know, like I said, he's the brother of rap star Master P and Silk the Shocker. And, you know, this whole dynasty of No Limit, you know, started with P leaving New Orleans for a better life, going to Richmond, Cali, you know, to start a business. You know, like I said before in the other video, P had a choice between choosing to either open up a record store or a car wash, and he opened up the record store, stemming from a lawsuit that he received from a malpractice suit from his grandfather's death. But while P is there in California doing his record store business, which evolved to a record label, C Murder was still back in New Orleans, you know. And C Murder was in New Orleans at a time where it always been very wild. New Orleans always really been wild, but you had wars going on at this time in New Orleans. You still had that whole war that stemmed from Scully's death. You know what I'm saying? Scully's death. You know, and C Murder was out there still during the whole Glenn Metz reign. You know, that whole Glenn Metz time, you know. Like P was in Richmond, Cali, like 89, you know. His brother Kevin was killed, you know, set up for he got snaked or shiced. But C Murder was still back in New Orleans. And P, when he started really doing his music thing, because he came out with like an album or two before really reaching back or inviting his brother to come out to Cali to get away from the harsh, you know, streets of New Orleans, you know. But he was able to get C Murder to come up a couple of times to be featured on a couple of those early No Limit Underground albums, you follow? So now, you know, he got him to come on to do some things. A couple of features on that album. You had the trying to remember the album because you had that Getaway Clean album. C Murder wasn't on that. He wasn't on the Understanding the Criminal Mind album. And C Murder wasn't on those albums. And he wasn't on the Mama Bad Boy album, I believe. But C Murder he appeared on that Who's the Killer album. And at that time, that's when P formed that solid true, which consists of himself, P, Big Ed, King George, Silk, Kylie G, and C Murder. So now, C Murder started, really, getting a feel or, the talent for music. He started slowly, coming into himself. But with C Murder, he had this situation where it was hard for him to really stay out of trouble. And when he was out there in Cali, C Murder was hitting the Bay Area hard. Like, you hear stories about him, beating people up and everything, that he felt that was disrespectful. Or, try to come at No Limit on a disrespectful way of any form of fashion you follow. And there was a situation that had happened one time that they used to mistake Master P for C Murder and C Murder for Master P because they looked alike. So it was a situation one time that C Murder beat somebody up. And then a couple days later, this happened in Cali. It's like a couple days later after they did that, Master P and Silk, they was at a gym working out. And a dude that C Murder supposed to have beat up, he came back with his boys to that gym. But him and P got into altercation because he thought that, P would C Murder. And this situation resulted in P and Silk, and I believe it was Big Ed, to where they had to shoot their way out of the situation because it was like this dude came back with a whole bunch of dudes, but P, Silk, and it was Big Ed, I believe. They had to really shoot their way out of this gym, to protect themselves from like not really getting hurt by these dudes, because it was like I think 3 of them and versus like 10 or 11 or 12 of them. Because C Murder beat this dude up, You had stories how, C Murder was up in Oakland wilding out, and I remember Servon saying how there's not no disrespect on Oakland because Oakland got its hitters and hard people out there too. But they had this jealousy towards No Limit or dudes from the South Perry in Oakland. But P was on some boss man shit. And they was out there in Cali promoting those early No Limit albums with no fear. And C Murder knew that a lot of these dudes felt a certain way about, No Limit. So you get situations where C Murder was like sucker punching dudes, putting dudes in their place because people don't know that C Murder could actually box, Plus the dude was in the military. Matter of fact, C Murder's supposed to have did a movie called Street Glory. And I don't know if anybody remember, but when they was promoting, it was one of the albums on a magazine when they had the Street Glory movie being promoted. It was a background of Calliope projects, and it had like boxing gloves hanging on a tree, I believe, or boxing gloves like superimposed on a picture. But it was gonna be, it was called Street Glory. It was something that C Murder was coming out. But anyway, I'm gonna get back to that. So C Murder was featured on a lot of them albums. On a couple of those early albums. He I think that Who's the Killer album. The Ghettos Try to Kill Me album came out. C Murder had a feature, I think, on one song on that album. I think it was called It's an Everyday Thing. And then from that album, you had the 99 Ways to Die album. C Murder appeared on. I think he was in that song called Whole Games. And then from that album, the 99 Ways to Die album, what album comes out next? I'm trying to get it right, people. It comes out with the I think it was the True album. You know, and at this time, P is segueing and getting his way back to New Orleans, you know. And C Murder was on that album right after that album came out, because it was like a New Orleans / Richmond Cali album, that True album, the one with the 2 arms with the blood running down it. Because P or No Limit, they had the True, they had the Marvin Through the Hood, which is shot in Richmond, and then they had the About It that was shot in New Orleans. So that was like a Richmond Cali / New Orleans album. Then C Murder get locked up, and right about that time, the Ice Cream Man album comes out. And when the Ice Cream Man album come out, I don't know if anybody noticed, but C Murder didn't even appear on the Ice Cream Man album because he was locked up. You know, he was locked up. So now for this time, him being locked up, so now 97 comes around, and around this time, this is when the powerhouse year of No Limit comes out. You have P did one more West Coast album. It was called the West Coast Bad Boy 2. C Murder was on that album on a song called Steady Mobbing. Alright. And that came out early 97. You got the About It movie and soundtrack that comes out. And then you had that True to the Game album, which I still feel was a C Murder album, because he murdered it on that album. Like, when I say he murdered it, he went off on that album. Like, them songs that he had on that album, everybody did good on that True to the Game album, but C Murder takes the cake on that album. You follow? And at this time, you know, Randall Watts get killed around what, 96, 97, 97, and this whole situation with Randall's death caused this beef to happen. This was like the early beef between No Limit and Cash Money, or should I say Master P, and Baby or Birdman. Now, like I said before, Randall is an honorary cousin of Master P. And the word on the street was that baby brother Terrence Gangsta Williams had something to do with Randall's death. You know, it was said that C Murder was looking for him. He was trying to get at Gangsta for what for what was said on the streets about Randall's death. And it was said that P was angered by the whole thing too. And it's where that whole Cash Money and No Limit beef really start from that death of Randall. Now you got them back at New Orleans. That they was living in Baton Rouge. They moved in, but that whole situation with Randall's death, you know, resulted in the beginning or the stages of one of the reasons why No Limit and Cash Money work together. But see, Murder really wanted Gangsta Williams bad because of this. But then it come to find out through other sources that Gangsta didn't even have nothing to really do with Randall's death. You follow? But see, Murder get reconnected back with them Porch Boys and the Cut Boys, you know. But this really like made like the Porch Boy eras, because when you start getting into like the close to the 2000s, this is when the Cut Boys era come about. But that whole Porch Boy time frame, like that 97, 98 time, you know, No Limit and Cash Money had they beef, you know, subliminal shots being sent at each other. And there was a situation that occurred where she Murder and a couple of dudes from Limit was in a club, and Juvenile and some of his teammates was in there, and you know, and it was said that when the whole thing came about, that they made some of those dudes tuck in their chains. That was what Juvenile, so to say, you know, C Murder cousin Pete and C Murder cousin Reginelli talks about it on that I think they say that song is called Calm Down. But they were like, from my block, from your city, which is on that Wild Boys album. It's like the last song on that album. But they talk about how, or Reginelli talks about how they punked Juvenile and his boys at the club, you know. So now you got a time when C Murder and Slim really hooks up. You had C Murder and Slim. You had Mac in there too, but you had C Murder and Soulja Slim hooks up. And when they did that, it kind of really brought the Magnolia and the Calliope together, you know, kind of a lot of them old beef they had, it died down, and they made it to where they was able to go on each other projects with no problem, you know. C Murder had that Porch Boys, he had that Porch Boys / Cup Boys on his team. So the Slim had those Dooney Boys / Cutthroat Committee, you know, and they was rolling deep. You know, you hear situations how when C Murder and Slim would go to certain functions or to the clubs, that dudes would see them and get up like, oh shit, look. To go see Murder and Slim, to dudes to be getting up, leaving the club or sneaking out of the club because of the fear of what might happen or pop off because of these dudes, because of who they were. You know, they ain't take no shots. So you had people, when they see them, they would get the hell up out of Dodge. They'd break, and you know what I'm saying? And you know, when C Murder had an apartment in Calliope, you know, on Delia Courtway, right across the street from Rose Tavern, you know. And he was rolling. He had like his main boys that he always rolled with too, you know. He had Wango or Wayne G. You know, he had his cousin Foley that rolled with him. You know, Cup Boy Boo. And you know, Skanu was his right hand man. But you know, Skanu was one of the dudes from Prime Suspects, by the way. And he was from he's from like the Parkway. So these are like some heavy dudes, you know. I know you hear about Wayne Gold, you know. Matter of fact, you hear something about Wayne Gold supposed to have snitched or something like that. But prior to that whole snitching situation, it said that. Well, I'm gonna get back to that. I'm gonna go back to that whole thing because I want to try to keep the chronological order of what I'm trying to get to. But you had Soldier Slim and C having dudes shook wherever they go. You know, there were certain things that happened. It was a situation that happened where they was at a football game. Like I think it was a high school football game, and somebody tried to disrespect C Murder, and it resulted in C Murder punching a dude in the face. You know, but now I wanna jump to the situation when Pastor Trey caught himself trying to disrespect Master P, No Limit, so he could get on because he actually tried to get down with No Limit, and I guess that Master P didn't respond to Pastor Trey's request, and it resulted in Pastor Troy dissing P. So now this song is going off, and there was a show that that they had in Atlanta, Georgia, and No Limit was part of the show, the forum, and Goody Mob too, and Pastor Troy supposed to be a part of that show, but it was said that Pete made some calls to where he got Pastor Troy off the show. So when No Limit came, they came there deep. They came there super deep. You know, the security was real beefed up because they didn't know what the hell was gonna happen. So No Limit comes on the stage to perform. It was like a lot of booing going on, and you know, words of No Limit exchanging with the crowd. You know, so they left off the stage. Goody Mob comes on stage to perform, and they brings out Pastor Troy when they show to perform. Ain't no playing GA. So now No Limit heated, you know, behind this. Yo, it was said that when after Pastor Troy performed that C Murder, you know, he went out there and he like damn near chased Pastor Troy down. And some people say different stories that he beat him up. Some people say he choked him. Some people say he pistol whipped him. Different things, but you know, I don't know. But so you come back. You come back to New Orleans. There was another situation where C Murder had a confrontation at the House of Blues in New Orleans. He beat somebody up, and the cops was after him for that. There was another situation that occurred when C Murder had went to another club and they wanted to pat him down and take his gun from him. He wasn't having that. That's that video that was circulating on they call that YouTube, of him shooting into the club, and you can see his canoe on the side of him, and it resulted in when C Murder was shooting, the bouncer was trying to grab his canoe to try to use him as a shield, you know. Like I said before, Canoe is one of the dudes from Prime Suspects. He played in the About It movie. He played as Half Pint, you know, if anybody who saw the About It movie. But that situation happened, and then you had the 2002 situation happen where the dude Steve Thomas had got in Harvey, Louisiana. He was beat down and murdered, and they try to say that C Murder had something to do with it. And there was numerous people that came forward to say that C Murder was there, but he left early before the situation happened. And they try to pin it on him. You follow? So now, with this whole situation, he's in jail. And then while he's in jail being held, it was said that of Wayne G that he went out there trying to intimidate any witnesses or tamper with evidence of the case, and he was arrested. So now it was saying that when Wango was in jail that he's supposed to have snitched or something. And well, in 2003, it said that they gave Corey Mellos, he murdered life because of the whole Steve Thomas thing. But it was saying that Wango had snitched on a couple of people other than the stuff that happened with the murder. And they said that, when Wango got out of jail or something like that, he's supposed to have got kidnapped. And they don't know where he was at. But they said that when he was out, they found his car. And the new Calliope that's up now, actually, when he got out. But they don't know where his whereabouts are. This is Wango. No, this is one of the dudes that was rolling with murder, But now murder did life. What he's doing, like he got life right now. And also I forgot to mention that murder had True Records, and his production sound was called Deadly Sounds, and he had a artist by the name Magic, Magic from out of No Limit, which really was T-Murder's album through True Records. I want to mention that. T-Murder, he played in the Ballad movie as Q, which is P brother in the movie Q. He played in the Gang to Be Sold, Not Sold, which is the Snoop movie. He played in I Got the Hookup, and he played in the Hot Boys movie, which is Silk movie. And he's supposed to came out with that movie called Street Glory. But I believe him being arrested, it resulted in the movie not even coming out at all. But when Boosie Badass was locked up in Angola, him and C-Murder was bunkmates, and C-Murder held Boosie down while he was in the can. To go on YouTube right here, you can pull up a lot of those stories that Boosie talk about him and C-Murder's connection to Angola. They time there, but they shared a lot of time there as bunkmates, and they even did a song together called In a Can. They're supposed to have been a Master P diss, but that's what it is. But you have a lot of people out there saying a lot of stuff that they believe that the reason why C-Murder is not coming out because P sacrificed them. They said that sacrifice don't necessarily means killing off a family member, but it means sacrificing your morals. And I don't believe P left. He gave up on C-Murder. See, the whole thing and matter was that they really wanted P, and they trying to really hurt P through his brother. They whole thing is like, yeah, we couldn't get him, so we gonna get him through his brother. That's that whole approach. You know, you read a lot of comments on these videos, man. People say some crazy stuff. He ain't sending no money to his family. He ain't doing this. He ain't doing that. Y'all don't know what the hell going on. You know, people on the outside looking in. So you don't know what he doing behind the scenes, you know, and everything ain't for the public, you know. He got an image to protect the whole of stuff too. But he love his brother, you know. He do. I know people gonna go on and say, well, Reggie Nelly said this on a video about, you know, P not really being there for the brother. And anyway, you know, he just asked for a retrial and he was denied it, you know. But hope there be justice in his case, because he didn't even kill that young boy, kid. That situation happened in Harvey, Louisiana, the Steve Thomas thing. He didn't even do that. They left. You know, people was even saying crazy stuff that Slim supposed to have killed that boy. You know, it's, you know, but people that was there at that situation, you know, when Steve Thomas killed that 16-year-old, they said that the true record, like see murder and all that, they said them dudes been left. But since they was there, they wanted to you know, use that as a way to put them down. And it's the same situation that happened with Mac. Same situation, because it was a really a thing of really getting at No Limit, you know, because No Limit was being watched a lot. And the artist is being watched. So they were using anything that they could use if any of the artists slip up. Because they really wanted to trace his thing back to P to really take him down. So that's that whole situation with C Murder, you know. Hopefully that, you know, he'll be granted, you know, a retrial so that come home one day, man, because we need another TRU album, man. And plus, we need this dude to get back home to his family, you follow? So, anybody that's listening and watching the video that's not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to my channel, and also hit the like button. You follow? And you can also go to Instagram, Dawood pages. You follow? Shalom. Salams. Godspeed.